Okay, you guys, so let's go ahead and get to it. So, this week we got some news. If I can pull up the one with the news, I'll get that to you guys. Um, there is NFP news coming up this week. Let's see. Give me a second. Let me pull up this tab. There we go. All right, so let's get to the news. Let me move myself out of the way here. Oh, sorry. Here we go. Let me move myself over here. All right. So on the news, we have manufacturing numbers coming out on Monday, which is going to give the market a little bit of a jolt. And then that's that. You have the euro coming out with inflation numbers on Wednesday, U.S. job numbers, and manufacturing for the U.S. And here's the key: whenever you see job numbers or ADP in the same week on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, you already know automatically that on Friday is what the famous NFP. So for those who don't know what NFP is, look right here. It's non-farm payroll. This is going to be a little bit of fireworks. This is the job numbers for the U.S. Anybody who does not work on a farm. That's why it's called non-farm payroll. So everybody who has employment here in the U.S., they count you as in these numbers as long as you don't work on a farm. So that tends to give a little bit of jolt to the markets because the feds are looking at this, the president is looking at this, and they're making decisions based off of the job numbers, employment numbers. Okay, so that's that. Now let's get to the charts and see what's popping off for the week. All right, so guys, I am going to start over here with AUD NZD, and I'm always on the 4 hour charts. And as you can see, it's sideways, chop, chop, chop. So I don't want nothing there. And let's go to AUD USD. AUD USD is still chopping around in this area. So I believe, and let's go to a shorter time frame. Me personally, I'm looking for, first of all, I see that it did drop. Boy, Simplicity was doing a great job on there. Boom, 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 boom. Nice winners. Wow, that's really, really nice stuff. So, going to the 4 hour time frame, what I'm waiting for, ladies and gents, is I'm waiting for it to pull back up, possibly a little bit first, and then I can attack it and put my stop right above this zone right here. In case you want to get copied on our trades as we're taking trades, me and my team, then you can sign up on our super easy copycat.com. Super E as an echo, Z as in zebra, copycat.com, and you can get copied on our trades when we actually enter the trades ourselves. All right, moving on to ACAD. I don't see anything there. AJ is broken through, and so this thing is still pushing. So I don't like what I see on that one so far. And this one is probably going to push higher, AUDs, JPY. This one here is sitting here, but this is a typical breakout pattern. So I'm going to watch and see if it really stays stuck in this zone right here. As you guys can see, this is the zone. Boom, 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 boom. But we'll see if it stays stuck in here or whether it's going to stay here and then break out a little bit to the top. So I'm just going to be hesitant on that. All right. Let's go to CHF CAD. Nothing there. This one is creating a semi-double bottom. Excuse me. I would wait for this thing to come down a little bit further to retest this bottom level right here on Euro CAD before looking to enter the trade. So I believe this thing will probably push a little bit more down to the bottom. I'm sorry, let me get my head out of the way. So sorry, so sorry, so sorry. I would wait for this to push down further to the bottom before thinking of buying. And then once it retests this level, then yes, there would be a possible opportunity. Now, this one is looking nice. I think it'll probably pull back up and retest this level as it normally does. It looks like it want to fall, then it'll suck back up into the main trend, which is upwards, and retest. So if it stops here and then gives you a sell arrow on the 15-minute, that might be a good trade there. So I'm looking for a push, boop, 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 wait for a sell arrow on the 15-minute, and then that will be a sell for me. All right, euro dollar, same thing. I don't see much of nothing, so nothing to look at there. Euro Swiss, nope. That's a nope for me, dog, right there. And this is again Euro AUD. I believe this one can push further down. And let me see if I can move this blue line up. All right. So see what this blue line is. If it comes back down and retests this level, then that will be a wonderful buying opportunity for Euro AUD. All right, GCAD, nothing there, nothing there, nothing there, nothing there. Well, now this one here is chopping up here. This one could drop, okay? So wait for an arrow on the 15-minute. And once you get a arrow, then I would go for a buy. But it may pull back up, and if it does retest, we have to watch to see if it's going to break through here or stay stuck here. And if it stays stuck, then we're looking for a drop coming this week, possibly. All right. G Swiss, I think this one is going to continue to the downside. I'm going to switch over to Ocean Wave. Let's go here, and you can see it's just really, really ugly. Oh gosh, this is an ugly pair. So it's just chopping, chopping, chopping. So nothing there. So again, no, I don't see anything. Okay, nothing on that one worth sitting around for. Okay, but if anything, I do see this right here, and I see this right here. Oops. So it's just chopping along in that zone right there. Okay, just chopping, chopping, just chopping around. So boop, 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 boop. So it's just bouncing in between here. So if it bounced down to the downside, you watch for it to see if it's going to do a breakthrough or whether it's going to just keep chopping around. Okay, but technically nothing. All right, GU has made a huge move. It's tested, tested, tested. I would love for it to do a nice pullback somewhere up in this range right here. Okay, somewhere up in this area. I would love for this thing to pull back and then smack it right in that area right there. See that support, 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 resistance, resistance, come back up and retest there. And boy, do we have dinner, chicken winner. That would be a nice one to the downside. So GU looks like it can be a nice one. All right, let's go to NZD JPY. I don't see anything that I really like there. NZD Swiss, nothing there. NZD CAD, let's take a look at you. Nothing there. NZD USD, I don't see anything there. Now, a lot of these, what you're going to have to do is wait until the middle of the week or a couple of days to let the market get comfortable and formulate a pattern that's tradable, which is why we are very patient when we're trading in the Forex market on our copycat for our copycat members. Sometimes there's just nothing worthwhile trading that day, so you have to wait for the next day before you take a trade because you have to wait for the markets. Everybody think that you can trade every single day, and it's always going to be something beautiful like this one here. This is beautiful, but let's see where this is on the shorter time frame. I believe, again, see how this meandered up, but I think it's going to do a pullback first. Okay, see, this is a slant pattern. So let's mark this up right there. And let's go to the higher time frames. What was the overall pattern? It was down. So I think this has the ability to push up and it may come back down. So either way it goes, I'm going to be patient and watch for that one. Okay. Nice move to the upside. Simplicity does it again. Nice, nice, nice. 67 pips to the upside, but I'm waiting for it to pull back down first. Okay. USD, JPY. All right. That one was in a downward pattern. It was falling. Okay, so again, we have to see whether it's going to continue that. From the daily, it was looking nice for a drop. So this potentially can, but the chop of the markets can get you. Okay, so anyway, that's all the setup that I see for this week, guys. And we're just going to have to be patient this week and see what the markets have to say for the most part, because a lot of these, they may stop, pop, and retest areas before they actually come back down. So I don't know. And since you're not sure, whenever you're not sure, you don't force trades. You just wait for the market to set itself up. And then when you find the optimal setup you want, then you go for it. Okay? All right, you guys. See you in the next video.